Hello everyone. China is a vast and fascinating country where majestic mountains meet peaceful rivers, where modern cities stand alongside ancient towns, and where centuries of history continue to live on in everyday life. From the remote landscapes of western China and the ancient routes of the Silk Road, to the dazzling skylines of the east, from crystal-clear lakes hidden deep in the mountains of Sichuan to peaceful canals and classical gardens in the Jiangnan region, China feels like a giant painting created by nature. History and culture, there are places that leave us speechless with their breathtaking landscapes. There are places that make us slow down and appreciate peace and tranquility. And there are places that stay in our memories long after we have left. Today, let us take a journey through 10 remarkable destinations across China, 10 places, each with its own character, beauty, and story. Let the journey begin. Tianzi Mountain, a world of stone peaks above the clouds. Our journey begins at Tianzi Mountain, located in the Wulingyuna scenic area near Shangjiajbi in Hunan province. This is one of the most extraordinary mountain landscapes in China, famous for its thousands of towering sandstone pillars rising dramatically into the sky. From a distance, these mountains look almost like an enormous city built by nature. Some peaks rise sharply like ancient towers. Others stand like giant stone pillars stretching toward the horizon. On a clear day, visitors can see layer after layer of mountains extending into the distance. But perhaps the most magical moments come when the mountains are covered in mist. White clouds and fog slowly drift between the peaks. Some mountains disappear, while others emerge from the mist as if floating in the sky. The landscape looks almost like a traditional Chinese inkwash painting brought to life. It is easy to understand why Shangjiajbi is often associated with a world of fantasy and wonder. Standing among the mountains of Tianzi, we suddenly realize how small we are compared with nature. The worries of everyday life seem to become quieter. All that remains is the sound of the wind moving through the cliffs, birds calling from the forest, and clouds drifting slowly above the mountains. Perhaps the true magic of Tianzi Mountain is not a single peak or viewpoint. It is the feeling of standing before something that human beings could never build, something we can only admire. Xinjiang, a land of vast landscapes and the Silk Road from the mountains of central China. We now travel far to the northwest, to Xinjiang. This vast region is famous for its snow-covered mountains, endless grasslands, beautiful lakes, dramatic deserts, and its deep connection to the ancient Silk Road. Xinjiang has a very different kind of beauty. While southern China is often associated with gentle rivers, green landscapes, and peaceful villages, Xinjiang feels vast, powerful, and wonderfully open. Here, enormous mountain ranges rise toward the sky. Green grasslands stretch toward the horizon. Crystal-clear lakes lie between rugged mountains, and vast deserts seem to have no end. One of the most beautiful sights in Xinjiang is the sight of horses roaming freely across the grassland. During spring and summer, the hills become covered with green grass and wildflowers. In the distance, snow-capped mountains create a dramatic backdrop. The result is a landscape that feels both majestic and peaceful. Xinjiang is also deeply connected to the history of the Silk Road. For thousands of years, merchants traveled through this region, crossing deserts, mountains, and remote valleys to connect east and west. Silk, spices, precious stones, metals, and countless other goods traveled along these ancient routes. But the Silk Road carried more than merchandise. It also carried ideas, traditions, languages, religions, food, art, and culture. Today, the legacy of those journeys can still be seen throughout Xinjiang. Traveling through this region is not only about experiencing spectacular scenery, it is also about discovering a place where different civilizations met and influenced one another. Xinjiang feels like an ancient chapter of Asian history. Every desert, oasis, mountain, and old road seems to have a story. And if you ever visit, take a moment to watch the sunset. As the sun slowly disappears behind the mountains, the vast landscape turns golden and orange. In that moment, you can truly feel the incredible scale and beauty of Xinjiang. River in Yangtze, a Chinese landscape painting come to life from the remote northwest. We now travel south to Guilin and Yangtze. If there is one place that perfectly captures the traditional Chinese idea of mountains and water, it may be the Li River. The river winds gently through a landscape of unusual limestone mountains. Along its banks are green fields, quiet villages, small boats, and peaceful countryside. A boat slowly moves across the water, mountains rise on both sides. The sky stretches endlessly above, and beneath the surface the mountains are reflected in the calm river. The scene feels almost unreal. It is like entering a traditional Chinese landscape painting. The Li River is also familiar to many people because its famous scenery appears on the Chinese 20 yuan banknote. But no photograph or painting can completely capture the experience of seeing the landscape in person. The scenery changes throughout the day. In the morning, a thin layer of mist floats above the river. At midday, sunlight illuminates the mountains against the blue sky. And in the evening, the warm colors of sunset transform the river into a completely different world. Yangtze is also famous for its peaceful countryside. Rice fields, villages, and winding roads surrounded by mountains. Visitors can explore the area by bicycle, on foot, or simply sit beside the river and watch life move at a slower pace. Here time seems to slow down. There is no need for grand buildings or complicated attractions. Sometimes all you need is a river, a few small boats, green mountains, and a quiet afternoon. And sometimes that is more than enough to create a beautiful memory. Fenghuibing, ancient town where time seems to stand still. Our journey continues to Fenghuibing, ancient town, one of the most beautiful historic towns in Hunan province. Located along the Tujiang River, Fenghuibing is famous for its wooden houses, stone bridges, narrow streets, and traditional architecture. During the day, the town has a quiet, timeless atmosphere. But when night falls, Fenghuibing becomes something completely different. Traditional wooden houses line the river. Small bridges connect the two sides. Ancient stone pathways wind through the town. Red lanterns glow outside the buildings, and the river reflects the lights as the water slowly flows beneath them. The entire town begins to look like a scene from a fairy tale. One of the most distinctive features of Fenghuibing is its traditional stilt houses standing along the riverbanks. They are part of the town's historic character and create one of the most recognizable views of the area. But Fenghuibing is more than beautiful architecture. It is also a place where visitors can experience local culture, traditional clothing, food, music, and everyday life. Perhaps one of the most memorable experiences is simply walking through the narrow streets after dark. The town is not enormous, but every corner seems to tell a story. An old wooden house, a stone bridge, a glowing lantern, a small restaurant beside the river. Everything invites you to slow down. Because sometimes traveling is not about seeing as many places as possible. Sometimes it is about slowing down enough to truly feel one place. The Rainbow Mountains of Dankia, nature's living painting. Our next destination offers a completely different landscape. This is the Dankia landform, famous for its spectacular mountains and rock formations displaying shades of red, orange, yellow, and other natural colors. From above, the landscape looks like enormous ribbons of color spread across the earth. The layers of rock create flowing patterns that almost resemble brushstrokes upon a painting. No human artist created this masterpiece. Nature did. The Dankia landscape was shaped over an immense period of geological time through tectonic activity, weathering, and erosion. The result is a dramatic landscape filled with cliffs, rock towers, valleys, and colorful ridges. Every mountain seems to have a different shape. Some look like enormous walls, others resemble waves frozen in place. Some cliffs rise dramatically into the sky, glowing deep red beneath the sunlight. And during sunset, the colors become even more intense. Standing before Dankia, we are reminded that nature does not rush. A landscape like this can take millions of years to form. What we see today is only a tiny moment in the long history of our planet. Dankia is therefore more than a beautiful destination. it is also a reminder of time, a reminder of patience, and a reminder of the extraordinary forces of nature that work quietly beyond our sight.
Shanghai, a modern city along the Huangpu River. Leaving the mountains and ancient towns behind, we now arrive in Shanghai, one of China's most dynamic and modern cities. If the previous destinations represent nature and history, Shanghai represents China's modern energy. This is a city where skyscrapers rise along the Huangpu River, where futuristic architecture stands alongside historic buildings, and where traditional neighborhoods exist only a short distance from some of the world's most recognizable urban skylines. One of the city's most famous areas is the Bund. Standing along the riverfront, visitors can look across the Huangpu River toward Pudong, where some of Shanghai's most impressive modern skyscrapers rise into the sky. During the day, Shanghai feels like a global metropolis. But at night, the city truly comes alive. Buildings light up. Their reflections shimmer across the river. Cruise boats move slowly through the water, and millions of lights create a spectacular urban panorama. But Shanghai has another side. A quieter side. A historical side. Behind the modern avenues are old neighborhoods, historic buildings, traditional restaurants, tea houses, and streets that preserve memories of another era. That contrast is what makes Shanghai so fascinating. It is not simply a city to look at. It is a city to experience. If you want to see China's modern energy and ambition, Shanghai is the place to be. But if you want to discover its older stories, simply leave the main avenues behind and explore the historic neighborhoods. There, the city will tell you a different story. Huanglong, golden pools in the high mountains. Our journey now takes us to Huanglong in Sichuan province. Huanglong is famous for its extraordinary system of colorful pools and terraces stretching across the mountainside. From above, these natural pools look like enormous stairways created by nature. Each pool can appear slightly different in color. Some are deep blue. Others are turquoise. Some reflect golden or greenish tones. When sunlight touches the water, the reflections of the surrounding mountains and forests create an extraordinary scene. The name Huanglong means yellow dragon. The landscape itself resembles a giant dragon winding through the mountains. The pools and terraces were created through long geological processes. Water flowing over mineral-rich rock gradually formed natural terraces and pools with unique shapes and colors. Walking through Huanglong can feel like entering another world. A world of clear water, quiet forests, high mountains, and pristine natural beauty. Huanglong is also recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. But perhaps the most important thing is not the title. It is the feeling of being surrounded by nature. If you ever visit, take your time. Walk slowly. Look around. Every turn can reveal something new. A beautiful pool. A small waterfall. A forest filled with trees. Or a distant mountain rising above the valley. Huanglong is not a place to rush through. It is a place to breathe deeply and reconnect with nature. Shaanxi, a land of ancient history and the Silk Road. Leaving the natural landscapes behind, we now travel to Shaanxi, a province deeply connected to Chinese history. If you want to understand the historical depth of China, Shaanxi is one of the most important places to visit. For centuries, this region was a major political and cultural center. The city of Xi'an served as the capital of several important Chinese dynasties. But perhaps the most famous attraction in the region is the Terracotta Army. Thousands of life-sized clay soldiers stand silently underground, creating one of the most remarkable archaeological discoveries in the world. Each figure has its own facial expression, clothing, hairstyle, and posture. They appear to stand in formation, as if they are still guarding a story from more than 2,000 years ago. But Shaanxi is much more than ancient statues. The region is also home to historic city walls, traditional neighborhoods, temples, markets, and a distinctive culinary culture. Xi'an was also an important starting point and crossroads along the ancient Silk Road. From here, goods, ideas, people, and cultures traveled between east and west. So when we visit Shaanxi, we are not simply visiting an ancient province. We are walking through a part of human history. A history created by journeys, by merchants, by travelers, by ancient cities, and by people who crossed enormous distances to connect different civilizations. Shaanxi therefore has a very different kind of beauty. It is not the beauty of crystal clear lakes. It is not the beauty of colorful mountains. It is the beauty of time itself. Zhuhaigu, a blue paradise in the mountains. Our journey now takes us to one of Sichuan's most beloved natural destinations, Zhuhaigu. If Huanglong is famous for its colorful terraces and pools, Zhuhaigu is known for its turquoise lakes, waterfalls, forests, and mountain scenery. The name Zhuhaigu means Valley of Nine Villages, referring to the traditional Tibetan villages located throughout the valley. Surrounded by mountains and forests, Zhuhaigu contains a remarkable collection of lakes with colors that change depending on the light, depth, and surrounding landscape. Some lakes are turquoise. Some are deep blue. In certain places, the water is so clear that fallen tree trunks can be seen beneath the surface. One of the most magical things about Zhuhaigu is how dramatically the landscape changes with the seasons. In spring, the forests begin to turn green. In summer, the valley becomes full of life. In autumn, the leaves transform into shades of gold, orange, and red. Reflected in the blue and turquoise lakes, the colors create an extraordinary natural painting. And in winter, snow covers the mountains and forests, creating a quiet and almost dreamlike landscape. Zhuhaigu has been recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1992. But once again, the true magic is not the title. It is the experience. Standing beside a perfectly calm lake surrounded by forest. Hearing nothing but flowing water, wind, and birds. Seeing mountains reflected on the surface. In a world filled with noise and constant movement, places like Zhuhaigu remind us how beautiful silence can be. Suzhou, the city of gardens and canals. Our final destination is Suzhou. If Shanghai represents modern China, Suzhou represents the timeless beauty of Jiangnan. Suzhou is famous for its canals, stone bridges, traditional houses, narrow waterways, and classical Chinese gardens. For centuries, Suzhou has been celebrated for its elegant landscapes and peaceful atmosphere. Walking through the old parts of the city, visitors can see narrow canals flowing between traditional homes. Small stone bridges cross the waterways. Gray rooftops line the streets. Trees lean toward the water. And small boats glide quietly beneath the bridges. But perhaps the true soul of Suzhou can be found in its classical gardens. The classical gardens of Suzhou are recognized as UNESCO World Heritage Sites. These gardens are remarkable because they recreate the beauty of nature within carefully designed spaces. A small garden may contain a pond, rocks, trees, bridges, pavilions, and architectural details. Yet together, these elements create an entire miniature world. Every viewpoint is carefully considered. From one position, you may see a pond. Take a few steps, and the view changes completely. A circular window can frame a tree like a living painting. A stone bridge can become the centerpiece of a scene. A single branch beside a traditional roof can transform an ordinary corner into something beautiful. This is the philosophy behind Suzhou's classical gardens. People do not try to dominate nature. Instead, they try to live in harmony with it. Perhaps that is why these gardens feel so peaceful. They were designed not simply to be admired, but to be experienced slowly. To sit beside the water. To watch the trees. To listen to the wind. And to allow the mind to rest. A final journey through China. Ladies and gentlemen, our journey through 10 remarkable destinations across China has now come to an end. From the towering peaks of Tianzi Mountain rising through the clouds, to the vast landscapes of Xinjiang along the ancient Silk Road, from the gentle waters of the Li River surrounded by the mountains of Guilin, to the ancient streets of Fenghuang beside the Tuojiang River, from the colorful mountains of Danxia, to the dazzling skyline of Shanghai. From the extraordinary pools of Huanglong to the ancient history of Shaanxi, from the blue paradise of Zhuhaigu, and finally, to the peaceful gardens and canals of Suzhou. 10 destinations. 10 different colors. 10 different stories. And together, they create a remarkable picture of China, a country where nature, history, culture, tradition, and modern life exist side by side. The beauty of travel is not simply about how far we go. It is about what we bring home with us. Perhaps it is a photograph, a sunset, an ancient street, a quiet river, a mountain disappearing into the clouds, or simply a feeling of peace that appeared unexpectedly in a place far from home. Because in the end, the most beautiful places are not only found on a map, they also live in our memories. And perhaps one day, while watching these images again, we will ask ourselves, when will I finally have the chance to see these places for myself? To stand among the mountains of Zhangjiajie, to drift along the Li River, to walk through the ancient streets of Fenghuang, to watch the lights of Shanghai reflected on the Huangpu River, or simply to sit beside a turquoise lake in Zhuhaigu and enjoy the silence. China is still vast. There are still countless places waiting to be discovered. Mountains that have never been climbed. Rivers that have never been explored. Ancient villages that still have stories to tell. And seasons of flowers waiting for travelers to arrive. Perhaps that is the magic of travel. There is always another road. Another horizon. Another story waiting just beyond the next destination. Thank you for joining us on this journey through 10 of China's most beautiful and fascinating destinations. May your life be filled with beautiful places, unforgettable experiences, and wonderful journeys. And perhaps, one day soon, we will not just watch these landscapes on a screen. We will stand there ourselves, feel the wind, hear the water, see the mountains, and become part of the journey. Until our next adventure. Goodbye, and see you on the road.